So you probably recognize that this hieroglyph is a picture of an eye. But how was it used in ancient Egyptian to describe the pharaoh? That's what we'll learn in this video. All right, so let's jump right in. So this hieroglyph is clearly a picture of an eye. And you might think, because it was a picture of an eye, that it would be used mostly in words related to eyes or seeing, especially as a determinative. And if you don't know what a determinative is, I highly recommend you pick up my free half-hour hieroglyphs guide, which you can find at voicesofancientegypt.com/guide. So this hieroglyph is in fact used as a determinative in some words that relate to these concepts, such as the word to see, or ma'a. Although it does show up in an unusual spot here, we would expect a determinative at the end of the word. It shows up earlier in the word here simply because it fits a lot better there. If it were at the end, it would have a lot of awkward empty space around it. However, even though this hieroglyph is used in these ways, it's more often used actually for sound values, the sound values of what we call yod and r, or we pronounce these today as ear, which I know for an English speaker can be a little confusing because it's a picture of an eye and we say it like ear, but it doesn't have anything to do with the body part ear. The most common place that you'll see ear used is in the verb to do or to make, the root of which is iri, or when you see it in this form of to do or to make or making, doing, it's spelled as irit with a T on the end. Now this is, as you can imagine, one of the most common verbs that you'll see in ancient Egyptian. Just think about how often we use this in English. How often do we say make or do in a sentence? It's, I don't know, maybe every fourth sentence we say or something like that we have it in. So it's super, super common in Egyptian as well. It was used frequently in royal inscriptions, including in king's titularies and also in captions. So we're going to look at an example today in a caption. But before we get into that, if you're enjoying this series, I want to let you know that it's just a small part of my upcoming course, Scribal School. And Scribal School will take you from knowing nothing or very little about ancient Egyptian to reading the most common texts you'll see in museums, on Instagram, or on a trip to Egypt. So to be the first to know when the doors open and have access to exclusive bonuses, you'll want to join the VIP waitlist, which you can find at scribalschool.com. Okay, back to that example. This is a scene from the Temple of Isis at Philae, and it shows the king shaking a sistra. This is a type of musical instrument from ancient Egypt. And the caption in front of him says ear. They very often leave the T off, even though it should be here. Sesheshet. En mutaf. And this means playing the sistrum for his mother. Now, more literally, you might translate this as doing rather than playing, but clearly when it comes to an instrument, if you're doing the instrument in English, we would say playing. So it makes more sense to translate it as playing the sistrum for his mother. So this is one, of course, that you will see in lots of captions like this of kings doing things for gods. And in the next video, we'll see another way that we can use this same hieroglyph combined with another 2 hieroglyphs, or 3 actually, in the king's titulary, and I'll see you there.